Hi everyone, it's Jennifer from Fiberflux. Welcome back to the channel. I'm so glad you're here. I have a really fun project for you today, and that is this granny square bucket hat. This granny square bucket hat is so super easy to make. We're going to start by making a granny square for the top crown part. And then I have 4 granny squares around the sides, and then finally a granny stripe brim that we're going to add. We're going to go through it every step and stitch of the way. I also wanted to show you what it looks like on. It's really cute. It's very cool and light for summer, and it has a lot of like ventilation in it, but I just wanted to kind of show you what it looks like on too, because I really love it. It's really cute. If you like these bucket hats, let me know and I'll do some more for the channel and the blog. Here on the channel, we're going to go through the entire project step by step and stitch by stitch all the way through. You can also get the ad-free PDF both in my Ravelry shop and my Etsy shop as well. Now, all the links can be found down below for that. Now, before we get started, be sure and hit the subscribe button to get all the latest Fiberflux video updates. I share full project tutorials like this one, stitch tutorials, roundups, and lots more. So if you haven't hit the subscribe button, be sure and hit it and get all the latest Fiberflux video updates. Also new to the Fiberflux community is the Fiberflux knitting channel. This is a great place to hang out and learn more about knitting if you're curious about knitting, want to learn how to knit. So if you haven't hopped on over there and checked it out, be sure and stop by and say hello, hit that subscribe button and check it out. So let's jump in and learn how to crochet this cute granny square bucket hat. The finished hat is about 9 inches tall and has a 20-inch circumference around this top part that goes around your head. Now all we're going to do is make a granny square for the top, and then 4 granny squares around the sides, and then I'm going to show you how to do an easy matching brim that just flares out a little bit. And finally, we're going to add a single crochet edge just to give it a little bit of sturdiness. For this project, you're going to need a pair of scissors, a tapestry needle to weave in ends. A tape measure is super helpful, especially if you want to get some sizing, or as we make the brim, if you want to do a certain size brim for your hat. We're going to be using a 6mm J crochet hook. This is my Furl Streamline in the matte gold. If you'd like to get one for yourself, there's a link down below. Okay, let's talk about this yarn a little bit. I have some cotton yarn. This is kind of like, some people call it cotton dishcloth yarn. This is a medium 4 on the yarn weight scale. This is Peaches and Cream Original. You can use any medium 4 cotton yarn that you like. I have this ecru here, mint. This is called Sunshine, and then I have a pink here. So we're going to use this, I'm going to use the ecru kind of as the main color to kind of tie it all together. And we're going to use these colors. You'll need 3 colors plus your like main color. The main color will be the color that kind of frames each granny square and the color of our brim. Okay, we're going to start with the main granny square on top of our head first. We're going to do 4 rounds in this ecru color, okay? Now, when you start doing the side granny squares, so we're going to do one in the middle and then kind of attach the granny squares to that to make the sides of the hat, and then we'll continue on with the brim like I mentioned before. But when we do the top, I'm going to do mine in solid ecru. Our side squares will have colors, okay? So we're going to have, it's just going to kind of be neutral with the colorful squares around the side. Now when you do a granny square all in one color, we're going to learn how to do it. It's a slightly different than changing colors, but I'm going to walk you through it. So to begin, for our first square that we're going to kind of attach the colorful squares to, we're going to begin and do a 4 round granny square all the way through. We're not attaching anything to it yet. So to begin, what we're going to do is put a slip knot on our hook. So wrap the yarn around your fingers to make a loop, bring the yarn behind the loop, reach in with your hook, bring up a loop, and tighten. I'm just going to come in a little bit more so you can see. Then what we're going to do is we're going to chain 4. To make a chain, wrap the yarn around the hook and bring it through the loop. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we're going to join in the center with the slip stitch to close the ring, okay? So insert in that chain farthest from the hook, the first one that you made, and you're going to insert the hook, bring up a loop, now bring that loop through the loop that's already on your hook, and we have a little ring that we'll be working into. Alternatively, if you'd rather use the magic ring here, please feel free to do that. It's totally a personal preference. We're also going to hold this tail along the edge as we work, okay? So then what we're going to do is do round 1 of our solid color granny square, okay? So for round 1, what we're going to do is chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to work 2 double crochets into the center of the ring. So to make a double crochet, wrap the yarn around the hook, insert it into the center of the ring, and bring up a loop. You'll have 3 loops on the hook. Wrap the yarn around the hook, bring it through the first 2 loops, wrap the yarn around the hook, bring it through the last 2 loops, and then if you need to push those stitches over as you work, feel free to do that. Make a second double crochet into the center of the ring. Okay, that's our first little grouping here. That chain 3 counts as a double crochet, just as a side note. Then we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to work 3 double crochet into the center of the ring. So 1, still holding that tail along the edge, 2, and 3. Holding that tail, just like that. Then chain 1. Slide stitches over if you need to. Make yourself some more room in that ring there, holding the tail along the edge. And then we're just going to repeat that again. 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3. Chain 1, and then we're going to do that one more time. And that's going to make the first round of our little square, okay? So 1, 2, and 3, just like that, okay? Now chain 1, remember that chain 3 at the beginning of the round? We're going to count 3 chains up, so 1, 2, 3, and join to close with a slip stitch, okay? So bring up a loop, now bring that loop through the loop already on your hook, okay? Now it kind of looks like a circle right now, but we're going to be transforming this into a granny square, okay? Now, this is the difference between the all the same color square and the multiple color squares with these fun yarns we're going to do in a little bit. Okay, we're going to do, now if you want to make the top of your hat multicolor too, you can change colors like we will for the other squares, but I kind of wanted to keep the top and the brim neutral, so it kind of tied it all together. Okay, so the difference though is that our hook is not in the right place. So when you change colors, you just kind of snip the yarn off, fasten off, tie the new color in the space, which I'll show you later when we move on to the other square. But for here, our hook isn't in the right place. We need to slip stitch over to that first corner space. So if we look at this, you can see our granny square, we did those chain 1s. It created these little corner spaces here. See that? You can sort of see them starting to form. So what we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch over. So insert the hook into that next stitch that you see, not the space, but the loops at the top, the little stitch. So insert the hook and work a slip stitch. Bring the loop up, bring that loop through the loop already on your hook. Go into the next stitch and do the same thing. Insert the hook into that next stitch, bring up a loop, bring that loop through the loop already on your hook, okay? And then go into the next stitch and do the same thing, work a slip stitch. Now our hook is at that corner space. You can see it right here. So what we're going to do to begin round 2 is chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. Work 2, again, that chain 3 counts as a double crochet, just as a side note. Then in that corner space, we're going to work 2 double crochet to start. So 1 and 2. Now we're going to create a corner on our square. So what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1. Okay, pushing things over, and now in that same corner space, work 3 more double crochet, okay? So 1, 2, and 3, just like that, okay? So now we have our first little corner. Then we're going to chain 1, hop over to that next space. So skip those 3 double crochets here, hop over to that next chain 1 space, that corner space, and in this space, we're going to work 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and then 3 more double crochet in the same space, okay? So 1, 2, and 3, just like that. Chain 1, we get a little bit more yarn here, and there's our next corner. Okay, it's starting to shape up like a square. Skip that next grouping of 3 double crochets and go to that chain 1 space, so that next corner space, and we'll do the same thing. 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and in the same space work 3 more double crochet. So 1, 2, and 3. All right, and then chain 1, and then go to the next chain 1 space. It's that last space of our square here. And you're just going to do the same thing. Work 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and then 3 more double crochets. So that was 1, 2, and 3, just like that, okay? So then we're going to chain 1 once again, and now we're going to close our square, okay? So once again, count 3 chains up, 1, 2, 3, and join to close with a slip stitch. Insert your hook into that chain, bring up a loop, bring that loop through the loop already on your hook, okay? So now round 2 is complete. So we're going to do 2 more rounds, okay? So we'll do those together. If you want to skip ahead, feel free if you're familiar with the granny square. Once again, our hook is not in the right place. We need to go to this first corner space that we come to. So we're just going to slip stitch over. So slip stitch over in each stitch around, just like that. And now we're at the right spot, okay? So go ahead and chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Once again, that counts as a double crochet. Work 2 double crochet into that same corner space. I'm just picking up a little speed here because some of this will be review. Okay, chain 1, pushing things over to make space as needed, and then 3 double crochet in the same space, just like that. So 1, 2, and 3. Then we're going to chain 1. Now, this is a little bit different than the previous round. We did a corner, but now we have sides. So our round this time is going to be corners, side, corner, side, corner, side, corner, side, and then close the round, okay? So let's do that together. Now we have a side. So in our side, for that, all we're going to do is work 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3, chain 1, hop over to that corner space, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, in the same space, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, moving right along, we're at a side now. So 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3, chain 1. All right, we're at a corner now. So once again, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3, chain 1, and in the same corner space, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3, just like that, okay? All right, moving around our square, we're at a side again. So work your side by working 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3, chain 1. We're at a corner, so work 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3, chain 1, and in the same corner space, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now we're at that last side. So chain 1 and work 3 double crochets in that last side space. So 1, 2, and 3. So now we've learned how to crochet corners and sides. So to finish, just chain 1 and the same thing, count 3 chains up, join with a slip stitch to close like we did before, okay? We're going to do one more round of our granny square to that first corner space. So slip stitch, and slip stitch, okay? Now this square is going to be the same thing as before. It's basically just repeating the same round, except it's grown a little bit. So instead of corner, side, like we did before, it's going to be corner, side, side, corner. Side, side, corner, side, side, corner, side, side, and then join to close, okay? So I'm going to get you started, and then we'll kind of go off on our own and work round 4, okay? So once again, we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Work 2 double crochet in that same space. 1 and 2, because remember that chain 3 counts as one of our double crochets. Then we're going to chain 1, and then in the same corner space, work 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3, just like that, okay? Now I'm going to get you going on this first side, and then we'll kind of depart and finish the round on our own, okay? So chain 1, and then you're going to work your first side that you come to, 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, chain 1. Next space, 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, chain 1. And then we're at the corner again. So just work your corners the same way. Same thing we did before, just so you have an extra side on each of your sides. An extra side space rather, I should say. So 3 double crochets in that corner space, chain 1, 3 more double crochets into that corner space. So 1, 2, and 3. All right. So keep working your corners and sides. So now we'll have side, side, corner, side, side, corner, side, side, and then close, okay? So we're going to go all the way around, and then once we get towards the end of this round, we'll rejoin and we'll close, and then we'll work on our colorful squares next. Okay, I've worked all the way around. We're coming up to this. This is our last side space, so we're going to work 3 double crochets into that. Same thing as before, just coming up to the end. All right, chain 1, and then once again, join to close. Count 3 chains up, join to close with a slip stitch. And our first square is done. It looks great, nice and neutral to kind of get the hat started, okay? So now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna cut the yarn, fasten off, and we're gonna kind of put this square off to the side a little bit for a few minutes while we work on some other things, okay? And also, I like to give this center tail that we wove in a tight, snug pull and trim it just to get it out of the way. We'll weave this other tail in later, okay? So this is going to be the top of our hat, basically. Then what we're going to do is we're going to, now let me just zoom out so you can see better. We're going to grab our colors. So we're going to do 3 rounds, each round in a different bright, pretty color. I'm going to do pink in the center, then the next round yellow, and then the third round in green. I kind of wanted it to look sort of like a flower, but kind of abstract. Well, you can do whatever you want, whatever. I kind of grabbed like scraps that I had. These are like little half skeins. So we're going to do 4 squares, 4 colorful squares, and then we're going to grab our ecru yarn once again, and we're going to do the join as you go technique to start building them off of our first square, okay? We're going to do all this together, but grab your 3 colors. You're going to keep your kind of join as you go neutral color off to the side. We're going to do 4 squares of our colorful colors here. So figure out what order you'd like your squares to be in. We're going to do 3 rounds. So you can do 3 different colors. You can alternate colors. It's really up to you. It's totally a preference and a design. I'm going to do round 1 in pink, round 2 in yellow, and round 3 in the mint, okay? So just have those handy, kind of think about what you want to do before you start crocheting. Again, we're making 4 of these now. All right, we're gonna make just one together. but I'm going to show you, it's going to be the same thing we kind of did here, but I'm going to show you how to do it step by step because we're going to switch colors each round, which is slightly different, okay? But we'll do it together so you can see. So grab your first color, whatever you want your center color to be, and we're going to do the same thing we did before. If you've done this before, feel free to skip ahead to the next part, okay? But if you want to make a multicolor granny with me, then hang out, all right? So what we're going to do once again, some of this will seem like kind of review. So we're going to put a slip knot on our hook. Wrap the yarn around your fingers to make a loop, bring the yarn behind the loop, reach in with your hook, bring up a loop, and tighten. Then, once again, we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Join in the farthest chain from the hook. I'm going to go a little bit faster for this granny because we've kind of already done that with this one. We're just, the way we switch rounds and colors will be a little bit different, okay? So I'll just go through this part a little bit quicker. Once again, we're going to hold the tail along the edge as we work. Open that ring up a little bit to get your stitches in there. And we're going to chain 3. Actually, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit like I did before so you can see better, okay? So once again, we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to work 2 double crochets into the center of the ring to get started. So 1 and 2, just like that. Pushing things over, same thing as before as needed. Then we're going to chain 1. Okay, then we're going to work 3 double crochets into the center of the ring. 1, 2, and 3. Let me get a little bit more yarn here. Chain 1. Then we'll work 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1. All right, one more grouping to do. We've done 3 so far. Again, side note, that chain 3 counts as a double crochet. I'm not sure if I said that before. All right, now we're going to do 3 more double crochets into the center of the ring. So 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1. Then we're going to join with a slip stitch to close. So count 3 chains up, join with a slip stitch. Insert the hook into that 3rd chain up, bring up a loop, bring that loop through the loop already on your hook. All right, so that is round 1, okay? Now we're going to put the pink aside. So cut your yarn. This is how this square and this square is a little bit different. Instead of slip stitching over to the corner space, we're now going to cut the yarn. Grab your next color, which for me is yellow. For you, any color you want it to be. All right, then we're going to fasten off. Sometimes it's just a matter of how much yarn you have on hand and how much of it you have on hand. If you have tiny amounts of one color, use it for the center color, okay, and so forth. All right, so the yarn we just cut, we're going to fasten off. So wrap the yarn around the hook and just pull it all the way through. Then we're going to go. What I like to do is kind of open up these corner spaces. See how I'm kind of putting my finger in there and kind of opening them up a little bit. You're going to take your next color, insert the hook into any corner space, hook the new yarn on, and just tie it right on there, right into that corner space. Any corner space doesn't matter. Sometimes I like to go kind of opposite of where I left off because it cuts down on the bulk of having too many knots in one place. But that's just a personal preference. Completely up to you, okay? So now we're going to hold this yarn along the edges we work, and I'm going to go back into that corner space, bring up a loop, and then we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to work, once again, 2 double crochets because that chain 3 counts as a double crochet. We're going to do 2 double crochet into that corner space. So 1 and 2. Okay, just like that. Chain 1, and then in the same corner space, do 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3, just like that. Okay, very pretty. Chain 1, Hop over to the next corner space. You can see that right there. So you're going to skip over that grouping of 3 double crochets. We're going to do the same thing we did with our other square. 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and we can hold that tail along the edge too. It'll help weave it in. And 3 more double crochets into that same corner space. So 1, 2, and 3. Just like that. You can keep holding that tail along the edges as you work if you want. It's up to you. It'll cut down on all the weaving in of ends you have to do later, okay? You can move it out of the way. You can, weave it in later. It's totally up to you. Hop over to the next corner space and we'll do the same thing. 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and 3 double crochet in that same space. So 1, 2, and 3. Just like that. And chain 1. All right, last corner space of our square. It's very cheerful and pretty. So 3 double crochet once again. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and 3 more double crochet in that same corner space. So 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1. Then we're going to join to close. Count 3 chains up and join with a slip stitch to close the round. Okay, so round 2 is complete. Very pretty. All right, cut the yarn, fasten off, and then we're going to add our third color. Okay, so we're going to grab, for me, it's the mint. All right, and I just like to go around and kind of sharpen up those corners, get everything kind of situated. And now we're going to go into any corner space, grab your new yarn, and we're just going to hook it right on there. This is such a cheerful granny square we have so far. All right, we can hold this tail along the edge once again, go back into that corner space, bring up a loop, and chain 3. Okay, this will be very familiar if you've done a couple squares now. And in that corner space, we're going to work 2 double crochet, 1 and 2, chain 1, pushing things over as needed. And in the same corner space, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3, just like that. Now, once again, we have sides that we're going to work into. So we're going to chain 1, and we're going to go right into that side space. 1, 2, and 3, just like that. Chain 1, and we're going to do let me just get a little bit more of this mint out. It's a brand new ball of yarn, so it's a little snug in the middle there. All right, we did our chain 1, and now we're going to go into that corner space and work 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and then 3 more double crochet in that same corner space. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so anytime you come to any of these tails, just as you work around, just kind of hold them along the edge and weave them in as you go, okay? If you don't want to do that, you can weave them in later. All right, so once again, chain 1, and then we're going to work 3 more double crochets for our side. So 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1. Now we're at the corner space. So we're going to do 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3. Oops, I missed a loop. There we go. 3. Chain 1, and 3 double crochet in that same space. So 1, 2, 3, chain 1. Just going to straighten things out a little bit. Go to the side space next, work 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, chain 1. Now we're at a corner again, moving right along, 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and in the same corner space, 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3. Okay, chain 1, almost done. Last side space, rather. Work 3 double crochet in right into that. So 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1. And now we're going to join to close once again. So count 3 chains up and join to close with a slip stitch. Insert the hook, bring up a loop, bring that loop through the loop already on your hook, and we can cut this yarn too, okay? So just leave yourself a little tail so you can weave it in later. Wrap the yarn around the hook, pull it all the way through, and tighten, okay? Now I like to kind of like go through and just sharpen up my corners. It helps me see my square a little bit better. Okay, so now what we're going to do, this is going to be the top of our hat. We made 1, we're going to make 2, 3, and 4, just like that. And then once we've made those, we're going to grab our ecru yarn again, put 1 more round on each granny square using the join as you go technique to attach all this together and sort of make the top part of our hat. Then we'll add the brim, okay? So what we're going to do now is go ahead and make 3 more granny squares that you can mix up the colors. You could start with green next time for the next square. You could start with yellow and so forth, or you can make them all 3 the same. Totally up to you. But go ahead and make 3 more granny squares. If you need to back up the video, please feel free to do that if you need to see this again. Make 3 more so you have a total of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 of our 3 round colorful granny square. The next step we're going to do is put a 4th round on each one of these, but as we do that, we'll join it as we go, okay? So make your 3 more granny squares for a total of 4 of these, and we'll rejoin in just a minute. Okay, so now we have all the parts of our hat that we're going to need. We have the plain ecru top part, and then we have all of our squares that we've made. So how it's going to be arranged is we're going to do kind of like a plus sign. And if you notice, our plain square at the top has 4 rounds, 1, 2, 3, 4, but each of these colorful rounds only has 3 rounds. And that's because we're going to do the final round in the ecru, and we're going to use the join as you go technique to connect all of our squares together to make our hat, okay? So the first thing we want to do is we're going to join the first square to our center square, okay? So if you just think about this being a plus sign and just remember that shape that we're after here, okay? We're gonna join all of our squares to the center square, but we're also going to be joining the sides, these sides together as well, okay? Okay, so we're going to remember this like plus sign shape, and we're going to grab our first square here, okay? So go into any corner of any square. Let me just come in a little closer so you can see here. Go into any corner space and hook your new yarn on, and we're just going to tie it right into that corner, just like that. And we're just going to start round 4. Now round 4 is going to be very similar to round 3, but it's going to be corner, side, side, corner, just like we did with this square, okay? So go back in, bring up a loop, and this will be very similar to the other square we made. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and work 2 double crochet in that same corner space. So 1 and 2, chain 1, and 3 double crochet in the corner space. 1, 2, and 3, okay? So we're going to work our way across now, and then when we get to this next corner, we'll do our join, okay? So chain 1, and then go into that first side space. So 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, next side space, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and then the corner space. So 3 double crochet, 1, I'm just going to get a little bit more yarn. So that's 1, 2, and 3, okay? Now we're going to join to the edge here of our other square, okay? So what I do is go into the corner space of this other granny square, go in from the top. Now there's different ways to do it. This is the way that I like to do it. So some people like to come up from the bottom and we're going to do a slip stitch join. So some people like to come up from the bottom. I like to go right in the top, reach back, scoop up your yarn, give it a little tightening. Now bring that loop through the loop that's already on your hook. And then you're going to come back down to your square and finish that corner, okay? So work 3 double crochets in that corner space, okay? 1, 2, and 3, just like that. And if we look, we can see our squares are now connected, okay? So we're just going to do our joins all the way across. All right, so go back to your square now, and we're ready to do a join. Go in from the top, reach back, scoop up that yarn, bring that loop through the loop already on your hook to do your slip stitch join. Go back down to your square here and work 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3. Go back to your other square. I meant to say too, as a side note, normally you do a chain. Instead of the chain, we're doing our slip stitch join, okay? So go to our other square, go in from the top, reach back, scoop up that yarn, bring that loop through the loop already on our hook, and go back to our square and work 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3. Now go back to your square, go in that space, go in from the top, reach back, scoop up that yarn, bring that loop through the loop already on your hook. And we're at the corner. So go into that corner space and work 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now we're at the corner of this other one. So go in from the top, reach back, scoop up that yarn, do your slip stitch join, and then you can just finish your square, okay? So go in that corner space, finish that corner. 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3. Then chain 1, then finish your square, okay? So 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, next space, which is a side space, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3. Anytime you have a tail, you can hold that along the edge as you work, weaving that in. Chain 1, work your side spaces the same way you did your other corners. Your corner spaces the way you did the other corners. So 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and 3 double crochet in the same space. 1, 2, and 3. Okay? Chain 1, and you can see how lovely these are joined now. And we're going to work down this last side, okay? So 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3. We can drop that tail because it's been woven in plenty. And chain 1. Just going to get a little bit of yarn here. And our last side space, 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, chain 1, and we're going to join in the 3rd chain up with a slip stitch to close the round. Okay, so now we have 2 squares joined on, and we can go ahead and grab your scissors and cut this yarn because we can fasten off and be done with this square. Okay, we go back to our original shape of a plus sign. We need to join the next square on. So we are going to actually join. We're going to start back here, start the round as normal, do joins all across here, and then when we get to where this square starts, we're going to join them here as well, okay? And that's going to create kind of that upside down bowl shape that we need for our hat, okay? Okay, just coming across here, and now we're ready to join. So what we're going to do once again is work the first half of our corner. So 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3. We're going to go through this part together because we're going to join here and here on the other side of our square, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to go into our other square, go into that corner space, reach back, scoop up that yarn, and do your slip stitch join. I'm actually going to come in a little closer so you can see the stitches up close. All right, finish off that corner, 3 double crochet in that corner space, 1, 2, and 3. All right, go into your square, reach back, scoop up the yarn, do your join, go back down to your square, work 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3. And I think I mentioned this before, but we are not doing a chain in between these clusters. We're just doing our join. When we finish the square, we'll do chains in between, and I'll show you. So we're doing another join, and then work 3 double crochet into your square, 1, 2, and 3. Whoops, let's redo that stitch. All right, go back to your square, do your join into that next space, and now we're at a corner again. So work half your corner, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3. Now, because we did one square and joined one square onto one square, the join was in the corner space. If we were to do a join in these corner spaces here, it would be off center. You can see there's one over to the left, there's one corner space over to the right. So we need to go into the space. Here's the join that we did. We need to go into the space right above that join, okay? That way it'll be center. So go in from the top, same thing, reach back, scoop up that yarn, and do your join in the middle there, okay? Now go back down to your square and finish off the corner, okay? So 1, 2, and 3. Now we're working into our other square, okay? So go into that square now, into that next space, do your join, go back down to your square, do your 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Go to your square, do the join in that next space, and go down to your square and work your 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Go back to your square over here and do your join. Now go back to your other square and work 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3, just like that, okay? So go back to your square and we're just about done here. Go into that corner space and do your join. And then you're going to turn it and just finish off the square. You just have one more side, okay? So do the other half of that corner, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3. Now, we're not doing any joins, so we're going to do a chain 1 here. I mentioned that a little bit before because there's no join in between the clusters. So chain 1, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and the next space, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1, and then join with a slip stitch to close the round. Count your 3 chains up and join with a slip stitch, okay? Now it looks kind of funny right now, a little bit lumpy. That's okay, that's how it's supposed to look. We're going to fasten off with our yarn, just like that, okay? So we have sort of the beginnings of a hat, all right? Now we want to keep this, let me just zoom out so you can see a little bit better. It's turning into a hat, slowly but surely. So we want to keep, remember that plus shape that we're trying to do. We want to join this square the same way along the side here and along the side of this square. And we're going to join our last square, but we're going to be joining it on both sides. So you're going to join it down this side, and then along this side of the square as well, okay? So I'm going to join this one on my own just because we just did the exact same thing over here. But when we get to this last square, we're going to do this one together because it's joins, joins, and joins. It's slightly different than the other 3, okay? So let's, I'm going to attach this one, and when we come back, we'll do this one together. Okay, so we have joined 3 squares. It's starting to really take on a hat shape. So the front here is going to be our last square. So I'm just going to go ahead and snip some of these tails. I like to have them out of the way. I've been kind of doing this all along. Some of them you might have to weave in with a needle, but if you've woven them in as you went along, it's much easier to kind of go through and snip everything. All right, let's join this last square together and then we can start working on the brim of our hat. All right, so we're going to start our square the same way we've been doing it, okay? But we're going to be joining on 3 sides this time. So if you feel pretty comfortable doing this, feel free to work ahead. But if you want to do this along with me, because it's 3 sides now instead of the other ones where we did one to one and 1 onto 2 and etc. But this one's going to be on 3. So we're going to begin our square the same way. Chain 3, 2 double crochet in that first space, that first corner space. Then chain 1. Then work 3 double crochet on that same corner space. So 1, 2, and 3, okay? Chain 1, we're just working this without any joins yet, okay? So 3 double crochet in that next side space, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, next space, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now we have 3 sides left, so we're going to go ahead and do our first join, okay? Okay, so if we lay our hat kind of flat where we're going to be joining here, here, and here, we're going to start this a little bit differently, okay? we're going to do our join right away. Now before we've done almost a full side and then join, but we're going to do our join right away. So go back in where you tied the yarn, bring up a loop, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Work 2 double crochets in that corner space, 1 and 2, just like that. And now we're ready to make our join. We're doing it a little earlier this time. So go back to, if we look at our hat here where we want to join, so this is all around our hat and then the front is open. So we need to put a square there. So I like to lay it flat like this so I can see all the sides. So go into the corner space here. Do your first join in that corner space of this square here to your right, okay? And then finish the corner, 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3, okay? Go to your square, do your join, and 3 double crochet in the next space. So 1, 2, and 3. Go into the next space and do your join. And work 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3, just like that. Okay? Go into the next space, do your join, and work 3 double crochet in that corner space. 1, 2, and 3, just like that. Okay? Now we're at where the 2 squares come together. Remember, we're going to go in that space in between the squares, right above that join. So do your join. And then if you need to turn to make things a little more comfortable, finish that corner. So work 3 double crochet in that corner space. 1, 2, 3, and then go to your square. Now we're into the ecru square here, and do your join. And come back down here and work 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, go back to your square and do your join. And work 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Once again, go back to your square and do your join. And we're at a corner again. So work 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, and then remember we're going to go in that space above the join in between the 2 squares and work your slip stitch join. And then go back down to your square and finish your corner. Okay, so 3 double crochets in that corner space. 1, 2, and 3. Just like that. All right, now we're on to our other square to do our joins. So go and do your join in that next space and go back down to your square and work 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3. Go to your square, do your join, and 3 double crochet. 1, 2. Oops, I split my yarn. I'm just going to back up. There we go. 2 and 3. Okay, now do a join. Whoops, there's a tail. We'll hold that along the edge as we get a little bit farther along here. Do your join. And now we're at the corner of our square here. So begin the first part of the corner, 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3. All right, now go back to your other one, do your join in that corner space. And then we can just kind of finish this off, okay? And now we have a hat shape, but let's finish off the bottom here. So go and finish that corner, 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Now we can chain 1 because we're not doing any joins. We're just working along the bottom edge here. And 3 double crochet in the next space. That's a side space. Chain 1, 3 double crochet into that next side space on our square. 1, 2. Oops, I split my yarn again. This cotton yarn gets a little splitty sometimes. All right, that's 2 and 3. Okay, chain 1, and now we're going to join where we began with a slip stitch, just like that. It might be a little snug, that's okay. All right, now grab your scissors and we're going to give it a little snip. And we're just going to take that end and just fasten right off, okay, and tighten. Okay, so we have joined all of our squares onto this middle larger square, and it looks great. We have the beginnings of a lovely hat. I just grabbed my styrofoam head just because I wanted to pop it on, just to show you kind of what we're getting so far, okay? We have the beginnings of a hat, and it looks great. So what we want to do now is grab our ecru yarn. We're going to make the brim in ecru as well. And we can take care of these ends later. And some of these that are along the edge here, we will weave them in as we go along. So we're going to start on the brim now. So you can kind of flip your hat upside down. Okay, so to begin, we're going to be working into side spaces. See how our squares are? We have side spaces here, and then we also have some spaces where the two squares come together. Where the two squares come together, we're going to work in the space in the middle, not this corner space or this corner space because it'll make it off center. We're going to go right in that middle where that, see that join right here that we did? There's a big space right below. We're going to go right into that, okay? So hook your yarn onto your hook. And we're just going to tie the yarn right onto any side space, okay? Just like that. Then what we're going to do is we can hold that tail along the edge. Okay, we're going to reach back into that same space where we tied our yarn, bring up a loop, and then we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Now this counts as a double crochet. Now in the same space, we're going to go 2 double crochets, okay? So 1 double crochet and 2 double crochets. Then we're going to chain 1, hop over to the next space here, and work 3 double crochet, chain 1, okay? So 1, 2, and 3. I'm holding these tails along the edge. Every time I see one, I'm just weaving one in as I go. Chain 1, okay? Now, here's our next space. This is, again, a side space. This is going to be important, and I'll show you why in just a minute. This is also a side space, so again, just work 3 double crochet, chain 1. 1, I'm dealing with lots of tails here, so just holding those along the edge too. So 1, 2, 3, chain 1. Okay, now once you arrive, you may arrive differently than I did, but once you arrive to one of these areas where the two squares join together, see how they join together here? We're going to work into this space here in the middle. If we go into a corner space on this side or a corner space on this side, it's going to be off center. This is also where we're going to make our increase, okay? So we need to just do a little bit of an increase to just get that brim to flare out a little bit for us. So we're going to go into this space here right in the middle, and we're going to work 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to chain 1, and in the same space, work 3 more double crochet, okay? So 1, 2, and 3, just like that, okay? And that gives us just a little bit of a increase, okay? Now it's gonna almost look like a scallop at this point. We're gonna add more rounds and it's gonna kind of disappear, okay? But for right now, it might look a little bit like a hump, but that's okay. So now chain 1, and then in each of these side spaces of our square, we'll just work 3 double crochet, chain 1, okay? So in the next space, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3, chain 1. Next space, same thing. 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3, chain 1. All right, last side space here, and then we'll do another increase. So 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1. Okay, now we're going to go to, remember where those 2 squares came together in that center space, we're going to do an increase. I also have a tail. You may or may not have a tail here, but I'm going to hold my tail. And we're going to do our increase. So 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and 3 double crochet all in that same space. So 1, 2, and 3, chain 1. Now we're going to work down the side spaces again. So those are just 3 double crochet, chain 1. So 1, 2, and 3, chain 1. Next space, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1. Next space, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1. And now we're at a place where the 2 squares join. We're going to go right in that middle space and do our increase. So in that space, we're going to go 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and in the same space, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1. Okay? All right, keep going around. Just a little bit more to go. Again, any tails that you see, just incorporate them as you go. 3 double crochet into the next space, 1, 2, 3, chain 1. Next space, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1. Next space, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3, chain 1. I have a tail here. You may or may not have one there. All right, we're at one of those spots where those squares come together. We're going to work in that center space and do our increase. So 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, same space, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1. All right, and now we are back where we started. So we're just going to join to close with the slip stitch. Count up into that 1, 2, 3 chains up, that topmost chain, insert the hook into that topmost chain, bring up a loop, now bring that loop through the loop already on your hook. And round 1 of our brim is complete, and it's going to start just kind of giving that bucket hat shape that we are after, okay? So for round 2, our hook isn't quite in the right spot. We need it to be in this first space here. So what we want to do is work a slip stitch into each stitch across to get our hook into the right spot. So just slip stitch across, slip stitch over, and right into the space once you get there, okay? So once you're in the right spot with your hook, that next space that you come to, we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and work 2 double crochets in that same space, okay? So 1 and 2, just like that, okay? Then we're going to chain 1, then we're going to work 3 double crochet into the next space. So 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1, always do a chain 1 in between. Then we're going to work 3 double crochet into the next space. 1, 2, 3, and chain 1, okay? Now, you might have yours in a different location depending on how you tied your yarn in, but once you get to, remember we did our increases here, we did 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet. It almost looks like the corners of our granny squares. We're going to do the same thing in that space. So once you get to that increase that you did last time, do the same thing in that space. So 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3, okay? And that's going to give us a little bit more of an increase once again, okay? Then in the space after that, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, okay? So we're just going to do this all the way around our hat once again. Every time we are at a side space here, we're going to do 3 double crochet, chain 1. And then like we did back here, every time you get to one of those increases, do the same thing you did in the previous round. 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet, okay? And then just repeat this all the way around. And when we rejoin, I'll show you how to finish this round and we'll keep going with our brim. Okay, just working in that last space, our 3 double crochet. So 1, 2, and 3, chain 1. And then we're going to join in that top chain of that chain 3 we did at the beginning of the round. So just count 3 chains up and join with a slip stitch to close. Okay, so we did rounds 1 and 2. Let's begin the next round. The next round is very easy, no increases, but we are also in the wrong spot. We need to go over to this first space here to start the round. So slip stitch over like we did before till you get to the right spot. And then we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Again, this counts as a double crochet. And then in this same space, we're going to work 2 double crochet, chain 1. And then in each space all the way around, we're just going to work 3 double crochet, chain 1, okay, including where we increased. We'll do some together and then we'll kind of depart on our own, okay? So go ahead and work in the next space, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1. Next space, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1. Now the next space is where we did that increase, but we're not going to increase this time. We're just going to work in that space 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1. Next space after that, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and so forth, okay? So go ahead and work 3 double crochet, chain 1 in each space all the way around, and then when we get towards the end of this round, we'll rejoin and look at our hat. All right, just coming up to the end of round 3, and we're just going to work a slip stitch into that topmost chain where we began to close the round, okay? We have a nice little brim going on our hat. It looks great. Okay, we have just one more round. Our hat is almost complete. I want to do a single crochet edge around this just to give it a little bit of sturdiness on the brim so it's not floppy, okay? So what we want to do is we're going to work a single crochet in each stitch and space all the way around, okay? So we don't need to slip stitch over to the first space, we can just start working right away. So what we want to do is chain 1. In that very first stitch that we see here, we're going to work a single crochet. So insert the hook into that first stitch, bring up a loop. Now wrap yarn around hook and bring it through both loops, okay? So single crochet into the next stitch, single crochet into the next stitch, and also into every space. So go into that space, single crochet into the next stitch, all the way around, single crocheting into every stitch and every space all the way around. And that will give it just a nice little sturdy edge, okay? So keep going with that and we'll rejoin towards the end of this round as well. Okay, just coming up to the end of the round here, and we're just going to join in that chain 1 that we did at the beginning of the round to close the round with a slip stitch, okay? And so our hat is complete. So let's give the yarn a trim. And what we're going to do is fasten off, wrap the yarn around the hook, and just pull it through the loop. And then we need to just take our tapestry needle, and you're going to turn your hat inside out. And you should have some tails from where we wove them in as we went along. So just kind of look for those, give them a little trim. Anywhere you see them, you can just trim them. And then any tails that, like this one at the end here, we can't really give that a snip because it's at the edge here. So what we're going to do is grab our tapestry needle and we're going to weave in this end. We're going to go in one direction here with our tail. And then I'm going to go in the other direction just to make sure it's locked into place. Okay. There we go, and then we can give that a snip. So take care of any other ends that you see. Okay, so all of our ends are woven in. You can turn it right side out, and it's all set to wear. Just kind of straighten things out, and it looks beautiful. So I hope you enjoyed this project. This is a fun little project that's easy to do. You can make a couple of them for when the weather warms up. And that is how you crochet an easy granny square bucket hat. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure and click the subscribe button to get all the latest Fiberflux video updates. Thanks again.